I mean, you're welcome to Bubbling 247. This is another episode, and I want to appreciate you, everyone, for listening and for watching our past episodes. Today, I'll be having a conversation with a brother who is a content marketer, is the founder and CEO of Jameywrites content marketing agency, and I've been following his work for a long time. But today, we'll be diving deep into conversation with him to, to learn about his own creative process and they're navigating content marketing in the era of AI. So, boss, you're welcome to Bubbling 247 once
Yes,
again.
sir. Thank you so much.
It's good to have you, on this podcast. It's good to, have this conversation with you. I've actually gone to check out, do a bit of digging and a
Yes,
bit
sir.
of background check to
Yeah.
see who is Oluwatobi Olaniran. Where what has been his journey like in content marketing before now, and I saw that transitioned from civil engineering to content marketing. So, what drew you into content marketing?
Yes. So, once again, I'm Oluwatobi Olaniran, and like you said, founder of Jameywrites content marketing agency. Although I like to call myself the marketing lead. Yes. What drew me into content marketing? I mean, content marketing has, I guess, it has always been in view for me because sometimes around 300 level while I was um while I was in school, I was struggling with civil engineering, and then I met a guy. Along with what we're doing in civil, he was a writer. He was writing for the press. So that's volunteering. Like it's completely free. It's something that we don't get paid for, but he interested me because I had a very good encounter that made me know that your writing actually counts. It's even the same experience I've had with speaking because normally I am this kind of person that I do not really take account of what I'm good at. It's just me doing my thing, and then something points me in that direction and it draws me in. So fast forward to 2019, I was on site at that time working at my dad's business. I'm still interested in that business, by the way. But the
Okay.
point is, um, 2019, I was looking for something different from what I was doing on site. And then
Yeah.
it was just pre-pandemic. I didn't even know the pandemic was coming. I just put
Yeah.
out what's the name, an application on Upwork. I got a freelance gig on Upwork, right?
Oh.
And that changed the game for me. It was freelance SEO writing, complete. Of course, they were scamming me because I was being paid peanuts, but at the same
Yeah.
time, it was something that was fun because I really enjoyed it. It was something I could stay on repeatedly without getting tired. And I kept looking for more knowledge about it. And that was when I came about content marketing as a practice itself, which is the
No.
educational aspect of marketing. So most content marketers you see out there, we are not rushing. We are more about taking the customer through a journey of
Yeah.
knowing what they're about to get into. And it actually just excites me all the time. Yeah.
Oh, no, that's actually quite interesting. It's good to
Yes, sir.
know that you knew what you wanted to, you knew what you were looking for,
Yeah.
and you got it. But I actually want to ask about navigating the journey.
Yes, sir.
At the early days of your content marketing journey, how did you find it? Did you find it easy? And what
Mm.
are the challenges you faced? And how were you able to overcome those challenges and you get to a point where you say, you know what, I can now call myself a full blown content marketer.
Oh, okay. So there's the imposter syndrome side. There is the
Yeah, yeah,
struggling with
yeah.
double identity. I still have uncles, I still have aunties that call me out and say, "Guy, go and get your engineering certification. We still want you to be an engineer. This, and that." And I'm
Yeah,
like, "Bro, I'm here for life. Oh. Don't deceive yourself." The beauty of it is, I've been a founder before. I had an idea.
yeah.
I went out for it, and it was content marketing that sponsored it. So
Wow.
there is really no turning back. Yeah. So,
Mm,
but the idea is navigating the journey was rather tough in the beginning, but I think I'm kind of now mapping out my space. More people
okay.
are freeing me up because they know that it seems this guy knows what he's doing, right? So
Mm,
it's no longer a struggle like it used to be. I'm kind of now better at the game. But I want to tell you that when I was starting out, there were times when I was struggling for money for data. Now, in
yeah,
Nigerian terms, that's internet access costs. So
yeah.
I was struggling for money for subscription costs. I was looking for resources. I couldn't find some. I asked people for mentorships. I still have receipts in my LinkedIn DMs where I was reaching out to people asking for mentorship, asking for. I've known about Brighton SEO since 2020. I was trying to
Yeah.
get into that. It wasn't just going to work. And there were a lot of times where it felt like, guy, will you not eventually go back into tech, like the core tech part, instead of marketing? But the truth is, when you find something you're passionate about, something you can literally do without feeling bored, I think just stay with
Yeah.
it. Now, that's something we are still going to discuss in this on this episode, where we're
Yeah.
talking about don't let AI distract you. Like I promise
Yeah.
you, AI is about to be a distraction for many
So
people.
before, let me cut you short a bit in that,
Yeah,
because we I know that we have a long conversation to have around
yeah.
generative AI, and how he has impacted the, the space that you play in, that we both play in.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to ask about, sometimes when we are so passionate about something, we want to
Yeah.
give, we're giving our all. There are some times when there, because of the challenges and obstacles that we face,
Mm.
we our spirits get weary. You
Yeah.
get tired, and you get to doubt your ability, you get to
Yeah.
doubt yourself, and then doubt your decision, and you get to ask yourself, am I actually on the right path? So at what point, what changed? Was it an article, a campaign, a blog post that you wrote that achieved beyond the objective of that place, and give you that
Mm.
confidence to say, you know what, I am
Maybe.
actually on the right path, let me fall
Yeah.
forward? So did you have to did you experience that part, or
Mm.
and how were you able to navigate that area?
Oh, okay. So, like I said, so two things. I wanted to even respond earlier that even now there's still a little bit of a rough patch where you're looking
Yeah.
at you want to make thousands of dollars, but you're still making in the hundreds, and it's still like what's all this, right? But the point is, you talked about passion, and I love that
Yeah.
side. And many people say don't talk about passion. The truth is, as you grow older, you become more analytical. You're no longer following your passions. You're just about, okay, does this work? Does this not work? But what really made me convinced, there was a day I
Yeah.
posted on my WhatsApp status. A lot of people liked it because I was like, see, there's a point you must get to that you're able to tell yourself, see, I'm very good at this thing. Now, I want to tell
Yeah.
you that all my career
Yeah.
in content marketing has been strictly freelance. I've considered full time repeatedly, but I've literally stopped shopping for it. Yeah. But the idea is it's now something where I've tried my hands on several things. And when I drop some ideas and they fly, I'm like, wait, this guy, you have provenance already. Do you get? There was a time I was looking for blog writing gigs. It was always about, oh, write this sample there, write this there. But when I got to a point, I started publishing my own things, started guest writing for free sometimes, actually.
Yeah.
And when you see the responses, the way it actually impacts people, you're able to tell yourself, see, I'm good at this thing. Just like literally forget it, no cap. I'm literally good at this thing.
Good
So
at it.
you get your provenance, you get your validity over time of trying things over and over again. The last thing I'm going to say is I volunteer a lot because I'm
Yeah.
sorry to anyone that doesn't like this context. I volunteer a lot when it comes to church, right? And I tell you that having the opportunity to place ads for even church sometimes, having the ability to shoot some videos, play with some gadgets, do some things sometimes, especially when I was just starting out, was able to help me a lot in fine tuning my skills and getting to the
Yeah.
level where I am now. Yeah.
I agree with you in terms of volunteering, because sometimes I believe in the principle of you need to own your craft, and
Yeah.
in that process you work before you get paid. In that
Exactly.
process you get to do a lot of free works.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that, because it is the perfection, it is in the doing.
I
Perfection is in the
promise.
doing.
I promise.
You cannot sharpen your skill if you are not constantly doing that
And
thing,
yeah. Yeah.
iterating, reviewing, and looking at, okay, where I need to get better at this. I need
Exactly.
to where did I fall short of this? I need to
Yeah.
get better at this. And I actually agree with you. So in all of this, sometimes we, beyond our own belief,
Mhm.
sometimes we need other people to validate our knowledge, even though it's not something that we should fully trust our validation in the hands of other people, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes we need that nudge. maybe from friends, from people who we wrote for, or from people we develop content strategy for, or
Even
from whatever
even
campaign. So
your traffic, your visitors, you want to hear what they
yeah,
think.
you want to hear what, yeah, you want to have feedback. So at that point, who were the people who gave you this nudge, and those nudge became like a catalyst to you saying that, what, I need to continue to push harder.
Yeah. So, like I said, I got a validation from within my community.
Yeah,
Now, I was talking a lot about volunteering. Now, when you volunteer, the truth is, I think the only thing the people you volunteer for owe you is a review of the work
yeah,
you've done.
yeah,
Now, sometimes it's active, that is, they are telling you verbatim, guy, you did a great job. Other times, it's simply they call you back for the same project you did the other time. And you already
yeah,
know that it's because I nailed it the first time that they're calling me for this. I don't know if you get.
yeah, yeah. I
So
get it.
basically, I once pitched paid ads for a church program. By the next time they were going to look at what's the name now, at promotion for the school the church runs, they actually called me for it. So that was one of the ways that made me know, okay, guy, you're doing a great job. Now the
You're doing a
truth
great job.
is, in some cases, you don't even have access to the data. Now, when you're freelance, that is where your problem is because sometimes you ghost right. You don't know how many people read your posts. You don't know how
Yeah,
much it generated for the business, except if you have a
yeah,
very good relationship. In my case, many times I don't even get to know the direct impact. But the truth is, the moment I see you call me back, I know I did something perfect. Yeah.
yeah.
And then
Oh,
other things that happens is I ask people around me. I wrote it in my notes here. I said one of the communities that has helped me a lot is the Freelance Coalition for Developing Countries. I don't know if you've ever heard about them. It's
no,
by
I'm just hearing about them.
yeah, it's by Chima Meiji, and
Oh,
this
okay, yeah, I know Chima. I know Chima. Yeah,
yeah. So this guys, sometimes it's not everybody you're able to interact with, but the guys you interact with, they're able to tell you, oh, you did a great job in this. I mean, you did this, you did this wrong, you can improve on this, and things like that. I even have a an online call coming up with one of the members that I just met in May, right? So I
yeah.
mean, have a great community, you definitely get the validation you need. And if they need to rebuke you, please don't fence off. It's part of the journey,
It's
actually.
part of the journey. All
Yeah.
right. I want to ask about community now. How community have been able to shape your path so far. How has being a part of community help you as a content marketer?
Yeah. So, community saved me because, like I said, I scarcely got mentors. Now, the reason why I struggle with mentors is because I have a tendency to be seen beyond my mentors, right? Because what I want for myself is flexibility. But what my
Yeah.
mentors likely what my proposed mentors likely wanted was to force me into a full-time job. I literally hate that
Oh,
stuff.
okay.
I need
Okay.
my own time to myself because I kind of have a lot of things running at the same time.
At the same
Now,
time.
I hope this is not me what's the name pushing myself off the cliff. I promise if you can work something out, I can enter your company. But the point is, the point is, I really struggled in the early days,
Yeah.
juggling so much together. So my mentors were in dissonance with those things, but community saved me because that was where I was able to relate a whole lot. Like I was able to relate with people. I was able to understand what exactly the opportunities are in our world. Even if you're freelance, like I got a call with this guy now, a very young guy. I've forgotten his name now. He's also a member of the Freelance Coalition for Developing Countries. This was just an online call. The place of what I would have gotten in mentorship was what I got from community. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't. They are like, will I call it occasional mentors, right? They're saving me from things that were pitfalls in my journey
Your
for a long
journey.
time. Yeah.
All right. I mean, that's interesting. The mentorship is important and
Yeah.
community is very important, because I believe that being part of a community of people that you're on same path, you do same thing, even though there are different levels of experiences. You get to learn from others how they were able to escape some pitfalls in
Yeah.
which maybe that pitfall is ahead of you. So
Yeah.
when you learn from their own experiences, you get to you get to escape the pitfalls that ordinarily would have met you
Mm,
as a surprise. So looking at the other time you talked about some of the challenges that you face as a freelancer,
mm.
right? And one of the things that we often don't talk about is the mental health in freelancing. It's a whole
Yeah.
lot. It's a whole lot of challenge
Exactly.
because sometimes in terms of financial status, it's a challenge because you might be hoping that this month you might be so buoyant, have a
Mm,
lot of money because you've
yeah.
done a lot of work and your pocket is heavy, and next month you discover that maybe next couple of months you didn't get a whole lot of work that would
Mm,
or maybe complement your bills to sort
yeah.
out your bills. So have you been able to navigate some of these challenges?
Oh, okay. So honestly, when I first started in freelance, I was excited. Like, I mean, the change you're making now, it will excite you, especially for someone that's just starting. You feel
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm on top of the world. Yeah, nothing's stopping me. I mean, when I started, I was making times four of what my father was paying me. So come on,
Right.
I'm on top of the world. Yeah. But
Yeah.
when life issues eat you, or when you have bills to pay and you really can't pay them, you now begin to understand that wait, I need a constant source of income, and that's where
Yeah.
balance comes in.
Yeah.
So upping the game from time to time sometimes felt sweet to me. I felt like it was
Hmm.
good, but I tell you, so what's the name? Sustaining yourself, sustaining people that are coming in, talk about your family and stuff.
Yeah.
You need to start planning. So one of the things that helped me is in the beginning. That was the days when I was struggling for data. Yeah,
Yeah.
in those days, I tell you, there were days when there were anxiety pangs, there were fears, there were a lot of doubts. Okay, what's the future going to look like? I can't run back to my parents. I can't be borrowing from
Yeah.
friends, all those things. One of the things I now started doing was while I'm still freelance, I have retainers, right?
Hmm.
So the retainers will save you. You
Yeah.
understand? You are a freelancer, but you have a specific amount that is coming in every single month. That means
Yeah.
even in the months when you have what's the name optics in the number of jobs you're taking,
That you taken. Yeah.
your benchmark does not go lower. Well, sorry, your benchmark is
Yeah.
always there to fall back on. So
Yeah.
when it's almost as though, oh, job is scarce, tasks are not so frequent and all of that, you can easily fall back on that retainer. You have an agreement in place. And such a person cannot just call you off in a day. Number one, you have a very good relationship with them. You've built that over time, and the list goes
Yeah.
on. So that's the way I actually dance around it.
All right. It's also interesting to
Yeah,
say that because financial sustainability is very very important.
I promise.
It's very very important. So
Yeah.
for young people who are you're already established in that space, for young people who are still trying to find their way, how did you maintain relationship with people that you have retainer with, that through that you ensure that through that that at the end of this month something is coming in? How are you able to maintain the relationship such that they can also learn from your own part?
Oh, okay. So basically, I used to be a very rude person,
Okay.
and my rudeness was as bad as, well, if you're leaving, leave. I'll get a new client. Yeah. But the truth is, I discovered that just like I was saying, upping jobs is a killer to your finances. So I became a nicer person by consequence and by growth, right? So one of the things I want to encourage, because one of the guys that I currently work with, although not directly with him, I work with an organization he's a part of. He told them specifically, he said, hold on to this guy, because most tech guys are not normal, right? Now, what does it mean? It meant that most tech guys are rude. So I got to a point where when you ask me for a review, I will be nice about it. When it becomes too much, I'll let you know that I'm reaching my limit in a nice way.
Yeah.
But most of our guys, like I was when I was younger as well, we tend to be very abrasive. We are quick to tell the person, Oga, you didn't pay for this thing, right? So
Yeah.
don't disturb me. So I became a nicer person by growing over the
Mm.
time. I was losing a lot by not keeping my clients. And so why not become a nice person? Of course, I've had to clash with some people when they are
Yeah.
becoming too much of an asshole. But the truth is, being nice costs you nothing. And that's what
Yeah.
builds your human capital with your clients, makes them refer you to jobs, makes them do a lot of things, right? So that's the way I dance around it. Be
Be
nice with your
nice.
jobs, articulate your words nicely. If you can't process the words in the start, don't talk. Say it later. Sure, you understand? So
Yeah.
those are ways I dance around keeping my people. Yeah,
All right. There are some clients that they can be overreaching,
sure.
right? They can because so how do you show them the middle finger?
Well, I never need to,
Hmm.
right? Even if
Interesting.
I stop working with you, you can reach out to me. I just let you know that you've crossed a boundary, but it doesn't mean that's the end of the world, right?
Yeah.
Now, I had to record a voice note for a lady that was asking, "Oh, why did you leave this particular team?" I said, "Well, the truth is, the guys are even overreaching at the guys that they are abroad, they are paying peanuts, and they feel like
Yeah.
they should have your entire life." I'm like, "Are you
Yeah.
joking? Like, guy, I'm gunning for the stars. Your change will not change. Sorry, your peanuts will not change anything in my bottom line. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I can let you go anytime, but nonetheless, I keep the door open, trusting that one day maybe you get back to your senses and you can easily reach out to me. I didn't close the door
Yeah.
against you. I just said, let's take a pause for now. We can't work with the current structure we are running so
Oh.
that we don't insult ourselves. Let's take a break. And that's the way I do it.
Oh, that's great. Before I talk about the bottom line and how the content impacts the bottom line of the client, I would love to get to know about your creative process. So, how do you approach content strategy? When you're building strategy, maybe for a product or for a brand or whatever strategy you're building. What's your creative process like? What are the boxes you need to tick to ensure that okay, this content strategy ticks all my boxes. It meets all the need, and it will definitely achieve the set out objectives.
Oh, okay. So yeah, again, remember I'm a freelancer. I jump
Yeah,
on several projects sometimes repeatedly, but sometimes they are always new. But the idea is I've learned that for anyone to succeed in this world, content, tech, anything, be an extensive researcher. So if you have access to my YouTube, one of the things you see is I create playlists sometimes for
yeah,
a specific project just to review materials on it, right? I go on Google before Google became an answer engine that they are
yeah,
joking with. I mean, those guys are clowns, yeah. But the idea is I used to use Google a lot. Now it's pretty much chat GPT speaking back and forth, trying to understand, okay, what are the content marketing pillars in this space?
yeah,
What are the things that work in this space? Getting responses, tweaking them, like you said, iterating them, changing it up, and then getting something that works for me. You understand?
yeah.
Sometimes this process takes about 3 to 5 days while I was speaking with the clients before I eventually give them a proposal, right?
All
So
right.
it's pretty much always um, pinned down to extensive research. What has gone on in this environment? What has gone on in this niche? What have people been doing?
Yeah,
What tutorials can I pick up on this? If necessary, I already have my own dump of ideas somewhere, of course, right?
yeah,
So you can always, your ideas, you are a thinker. That's why I'm afraid of what this AI thing is about to do to people. You are a thinker. Have a brain dump it, keep dumping it somewhere, yeah, and then do a lot of extensive research. By the time you do that, when you're done with that process, it all comes together. Yeah.
oh, great. So, how do you now ensure that your content? I mean, you've talked through the ideation, the development of the strategy. Now we come to the deployment stage where maybe you publish your content, or even before publishing. What are the thoughts you put into it to ensure that this content, it's not just all vibes?
Mm.
You want this content to impact maybe
Oh,
to drive engagement, and
yeah.
beyond the engagement to drive conversion. So what are the thoughts or the ties you put into them to ensure that this particular content drives, impacts the bottom line of your clients?
Oh, okay. So the first thing I do is there is always a review process. Now, the review process is often instituted by myself, and I can tell you that in most cases, many clients don't even want to review your content. It's like you are the one forcing them. Now, if they don't want to, I sometimes take it to people around me. I mean, it could
Yeah,
even be my wife. I can even show her and say, Oga, please, can you look at this thing, right? What do you think about this, right? And I get an input, I review it, I go all out to take a seat as the visitor, right?
yeah,
So I was the writer, but when I take a break from my own writings, or when I take a break from my own video, my own edited videos, I see that okay, what would the user or what would the a visitor, what would they think when they see this,
yeah,
right? And then it helps me. So usually each piece of content I put out there actually goes through about 3 to 5 stages of preliminary to final review processes.
yeah.
You
Wow.
understand? And then what I then do is when it's now out, and the beautiful part of every piece of content I've worked on in the past 2 years, don't let me go as far back as five, because there was a time I was churning out iterations of the same thing.
Yeah.
How to become a franchisee of Dunkin' Donuts, how to become a franchisee of McDonald's. Those are just iterative pieces of content.
Yeah.
But I now work on content that lasts literally a lifetime. I'm not even capping.
Mm.
Like it lasts you a long period of time. And that's
A
why,
long person.
yeah, I've been talking about case studies a lot now because
Yeah.
those things are hard to put together. But when you put it out, it reaches your customer immediately. No stress. Do you understand? And even if you republish it, it will still reach another set of people over again. Do you understand?
Okay,
Nobody
so how
hates
do I
anything.
know
Yeah.
that? How do I know that this content would last? How do I know that this particular content has a long lasting shelf time?
Value. Yeah, okay. So now one of the things I did initially was unconscious. So when I was going to get into video, because this was something that one of my people was beating me up on. I've been everywhere in content too. Like I've even delved into design at the point. Like I've been everywhere and I don't care. Like me, it's about getting the job done, yeah.
Yeah.
But one of the things that happened, like I said, extensive research. I was going to get on a job. It was the cheapest job I've ever done. I literally would never go back there. But um, this woman had a fashion store, and she needed to put word out for her business. And I was thinking to myself, if I'm going to run this project, how exactly is this person going to put out word from day one? Then I
Yeah.
took time. I told her, get me a model. Of course, it's not part of the budget that you paid for. But please get me someone that can speak to the camera. She got me someone. I recorded several scenes of that store, the person speaking, inviting people to come to that store, and all those things. And one of the things that happened was, I tell you that this woman posts this video literally almost every 3 months. She's literally asked me just about last year, late last year, she's asked me again this year that I should come and record the same thing. And I said, if I'm coming this time, I'm coming with professional cameras. I'm
Yeah.
definitely not going to do that at that rate that you got it the last time. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So the idea is it was initially unconscious, but now it's literally something that is ingrained in me. If you create this piece of content, instead of creating how to do this, what can you achieve using my product? Those are questions to ask. Do you understand? So
Yeah.
by eating our biscuit, even if it's just a biscuit, by eating our biscuit, what is the feeling this person is going to get? Every single person that you have out there is selfish. They don't care about you. So
Yeah.
what is your product doing for them that is going to
Yeah.
benefit them? Show them that
Yeah.
from the beginning, and I promise you, the game is settled. Every other person is going to be glad that they worked with you or they listened to
On this.
your or they watch your content or something. Yeah.
Oh, all right. I
Yeah.
mean I like that thought process. I like the, I know that I understand that it's so much important to give value, because value has a long lasting time on the shelf.
Yeah.
And when you give value, your clients will coming back. We keep coming back,
Every single
and they will
time.
keep they will trust you more
Yeah.
with more responsibilities,
They will
more
refer you
work.
to.
They will refer you to, and then
Yeah.
more money. So
Yeah.
before I go into, you talked about the fact that you've worked with video, different content formats. I want to ask questions about content repurposing, but before I
Okay.
go into that, I would love to ask about pricing, because you in your conversation you talk about charging them. So
Yeah.
how do you approach as a freelancer? How do you approach charging to that you would know that, okay, I'm charging the right price? How do you ensure that you charge the right price, and that you charge the right price for the value that you're offering?
Yes, sir. So the process for this has changed over the years.
Yeah.
There was a folly that I think anyone that is watching this might also have fallen into if they are a beginner, and they should change it right away. It's the fact that you think that every single dime you make as a content marketer, as a freelancer, as a tech guy is profits. It's a lie. So you need to start pricing your time. You need to
Yeah.
start pricing your internet connection costs. You need to start
Yeah.
pricing the fact that you are fueling your generator. I tell you, my generator is literally on for this podcast, right?
Wow.
So if I were going to come on this for a paid project, I need to price it in. But this is
Yeah.
visibility. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
platform, and I'm grateful to Mr. Tommy for this, right? So the idea is you need to itemize those things, right? When you itemize it, then you put a profit on it. Usually, the safe range for your profit is about 20 to 25%. But if you are
Yeah.
greedy, put 50. If the person can pay, fine. If they can't pay, then you definitely lost the client. But be wise about
Yeah.
it. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So, and I always encourage that everybody has a rate card ahead. Now, I tell you
Yeah.
that I'm still lazy on that. I've not prepared mine. So I usually
Yeah.
have to create one every single time. But one of the things that works is I have a ready rate card. And the reason why mine is pretty much difficult to put together is sometimes it's unique projects time after time. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah.
nonetheless, have a rate card, have an idea of what it costs you to put this together. And then if you can, have people that also review your proposals before you put it out there. I have
Yeah.
people like that around me already. Yeah.
All right. So for those people who, for young people who are just coming into this space, uh, like when you started, you had to do a whole lot of free work,
Yeah.
right? And you had to churn out content just for you to, better your skills,
Sure.
and for you to also have quite some numbers of projects under your belt for your
Yeah.
portfolio.
Yeah.
So for those people, charging might be a very difficult thing for them.
Sure.
How they want to navigate this would definitely be a very difficult thing for them. How do you think that, do they think they can, do they have need a kind of confidence
Okay.
or lecture or consultation to do for them to get to a level where they can actually charge the right price for the value?
Yeah, so because I walked this part and nobody put me on the
Yeah.
pedestal before I was ready, I think I can relate with such a person. And I think one of the first things I'll tell the person is please make sure that you also have a mind to be paid for your work, right? Have a mind to be paid for your work. Even if you're planning to work for free, have a mind to be
Yeah.
paid. I was speaking with a young lady yesterday. She does voiceovers and they've been scamming her for years, right?
Wow.
It's always volunteering, volunteering. There's a point where volunteering becomes a scam. There's a point where they're taking
Yeah.
advantage of you.
Yes. Yes.
So
I
have in
agree.
mind that this skill is going to pay me. That's number one.
Yeah.
The second part is have punchy questions. Sir, do you want me to do this for free or you want to or you'll be paying me for it?
Yeah.
So someone called you because yeah, you can relate to this. We are both black. The black
Yeah.
tax is something I want to write about sometime soon. About the fact that there's also a black tax on your skills as a
Yeah.
black man. So your uncle calls you and says, "I'm having a birthday tomorrow. So you've been doing spoken words. So I want you to present for us there."
Yeah.
Now, it was his friend that reached out. It's not his birthday. So I don't owe his friend a free job.
Yeah.
Egbon, or sorry, I'm using our
That is
terms.
fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
But bro, come. are they going to pay me for this job or it's for free? I
Yeah.
tell you that the moment you ask that question, the guy that never had your best interest at heart will run away.
Yeah. Yeah. I
But if
agree.
you asked it from someone that has your best interest at heart, the person will then say, you know what, Toby, this job is not paid, but one of the things we'll do is we'll sort your transport. We're going to feed you on site,
Yeah.
and then you can ensure to what's name to put your logo on this job. We are going to
Yeah.
allow you to add it to your portfolio. Do you
Yeah.
get?
I
So
get.
that is a way to seed out the people that have your interest and they do not. There are
Yeah.
quite a number of things, but I think I can stop on that for now. Yeah,
I think that's it. It's a lot already,
yeah,
and I believe that that would, of course, you know, teach other people on how to go about their way in terms of pricing and charging for getting the valued price
yeah,
for the valued whatever the value that they offer. So let's go to content repurposing.
yeah,
You've done videos, you do design, you do
writing.
audio, you do writing. So
Yeah,
what personal framework or mindset do do you use when you're approaching your own content repurposing? How do
repurposing.
you know that this particular content it's low value enough that you need to repurpose it? It's because it's of the value it carries, or this particular content I just need to let go of it.
Yeah. So again, I focus on high value content, content that lives long, not
Yeah,
temporary nonsense that AI would get out for you in few days. So, few minutes actually, not even few days. So, what works for me is most of my pieces of content can actually be repurposed.
uh,
But where I decide that there is a limit to it, I'm sorry, I hope you don't hate me for this, but sometimes cost plays a function.
yeah,
How much are you paying me for this job?
yeah,
Should I offer you a different format of this content or I should just let you be? There are sometimes some clients whose raw videos sit in my laptop, not because of anything. I only owed them a single video.
video, yeah,
I know that you can get 20 pieces of content out of this, but I won't tell you if you are not paying for consultation, if you're not showing me a posture that you are going to be willing to pay further if I do more,
yeah,
right? So, content repurposing should literally be endless. See, even with the influx of AI, if you
yeah,
give me a piece of writing, if I throw it into a piece of AI now, any one of them that actually does text to audio can give me something that works, right?
yeah,
If you add the budget, I could get a voiceover artist that will do a natural version of the same thing AI will give me. So literally, it's usually based on the budget. But I want to tell you that if I were in-house, that I was an employee, now, one of the things that would determine what I repurpose is I would test various formats. Do you
yeah,
understand? I'll test it across platforms and I'll test it across the reception of my employers themselves. Do you understand?
yeah,
Sometimes
yeah,
it's just your employer not liking a particular piece of content. So why would I keep creating that piece of content if the person doesn't like it? So I'll just leave it as YouTube audio or YouTube video rather, instead of cutting it into or making it into blogs. Now, there's
yeah,
a lot of disdain that is happening with writing now. I do tweets. I do a lot of tweets. I do minutes for people, right? Not on a paid basis, but if I'm in a meeting, I can easily type stuff on the go. You can check my profile for the writing I did on Search African when I was
yeah,
there physically. I wrote every single thing on the spot, right? So, but so many people don't value that kind of content. They're like, you're just wasting your time. So, I'm not supposed to create that for most people that don't value it.
value
But
it, yeah,
you can find an employer that will literally look at you and say, "Guy, I love those snippets. I want you to be giving them to me often. Even
yeah,
our audience, share with them quotes
yeah,
and stuff you can get from those kind of stuff." So it depends on bandwidth of your budget. What's the weight of your budget for this
yeah.
job? Second is what's your reception across platforms and also for the employer or the client that you're working with. That's my own principle.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
actually agree with you. You know, even with the with the different tools that we have today now. From one content, you can have different format. It depends on
Yeah.
it now brings you to your own level of thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Because it also if you don't think beyond whatever one format, you might
Yeah.
not be able to get a whole lot of formats. For example,
Sure.
from one episode of this podcast,
Yeah.
we can have 20 different
Pieces of content.
content.
Yeah.
Even at the moment, with with the episode that we've been able to publish over, we have
Yeah.
created so much content that
Hmm.
we can't even post.
Yes, sir.
Like we already swamped with the level of content that we've created, because
Yeah.
we have blog
So
posts,
much. Yeah.
we have blog posts, and one episode like this we can generate like 5, 10 to 3 blog posts, depending on the insights and
Came
directions we
from
want
there.
to go.
Yeah. Sure.
Right.
Sure.
And as it aligns with the main core themes of the conversation. So
Yeah.
it's the opportunities, the resources are endless at this point in time. But now I have seen quite a number of content that have been repurposed, and sometimes they feel recycled. Right. So so
Yeah.
in the flood of content,
Mm.
how do you ensure that your the proposed material is still fresh and relevant?
Okay, so I think I'll start on the note of, like you said, you have been swamped with the number of repurposed content you have. So one of the things I'd rather do is, if it is possible, try to limit the number of clips you are getting from one single video. Now, the truth is, every single line of a speaker, like on this call now or this podcast right now, we could have several quotes, but you
Yeah.
can only publish so much before people get tired, right?
Yeah.
Now, there was a point where I felt like we all enjoyed Search African. It was sponsored by the FCDC as well. But the point is, I cannot keep posting about South African before people get tired and they're
Yeah.
asking me, "Are you an ambassador of these people?" Right? So the idea is, keep the keep it within a reasonable limit. Now, you are tempted because, man, this content was awesome, but keep it within a reasonable limit. If you can, have it be at the back of your mind already before going into the process of repurposing, that we are only getting 5 to 10 pieces of content from this particular piece of content, right? So that will guide your process of getting the best of the best, because every other
Yeah.
thing is the best, but you're
Yeah.
getting the best of the best by limiting the number that you're putting out there, right?
Yeah.
Another trick is, like we talked about, various formats. You can try to save the amount of posts you're making by using carousels. Now, LinkedIn supports that format. Facebook
Yeah.
no longer does, but Instagram does. TikTok
Yeah.
also does as well. So why not just create several pages of so many pieces of content you would love to do, and then drop them as a carousel? Unfortunately, LinkedIn canceled the feature where you could add videos to your carousels.
Carousel.
But the point is, you can cluster your content as well using
Yeah.
carousels, so that you don't have to do that. I think YouTube has a similitude of carousels, but I think it's not more than 3 pages.
3 or 4.
So yeah, 3 or 4. Yeah. So it's easier to visualize what I'm saying. Cluster them.
Yeah.
Don't make too many pieces so that it doesn't get tiring for your folks. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, that's actually what the measures that we've put in place,
Yeah.
because the conversation that we're having are so rich and globally
Mm-hmm.
relevant. And and another thing that we also have been able to go about is beyond our own platform.
Yeah.
Try to you also getting partnership to push content on other platforms, such
Yeah.
that it's fresh on ours, it's
Sure.
also fresh on theirs,
Yeah.
and then the conversation that we're having, it's not within the confine of our platform, but
Yeah.
to a more global, audiences.
Audience.
So
Yeah.
which of course is still fresh across all platforms. So
Yeah.
that takes me to repurposing. Now takes me to generative AI.
Yes, sir.
With AI now, repurposing content is so easy.
Yeah.
Right? It's so easy. It's just you knowing, you thinking and knowing, okay, this is the direction I want to go. Even if you don't think, or if you don't know, you just need to just have the right prompt,
Mm.
to ask the right questions.
Yeah.
AI, ChatGPT, Jasper AI, whatever would give you will give you
Anything.
anything that you want. So
Yeah.
how are you, in what ways are you leveraging these platforms, and
Uh,
also ensuring that your content are not robotic?
yeah. So I think this is the stage where we all begin to think of bespoke content creation and generic content creation.
Yeah,
So when you see the stuff that developers, sorry, I come from the engineering space, civil engineering to be specific, and you see a lot of construction, and you know that this construction is just multiplication that they are trying to achieve. It's just multiple units they are trying to achieve. There's nothing beautiful about this. Do you understand?
yeah,
Now that is the stage where we are in content creation now. There is the bespoke part. So there is an extension I have here, keywords everywhere. It has a function on YouTube where you can click summarize this video.
yeah,
Now, when you say summarize this video, it allows you to get about 10 key points from the video. If you tweak the prompt like I've done a few times, you can get a blog post from the
yeah,
video's transcript. If you tweak the prompt a few times, you can get a number of quotes from the transcript. So, but the idea is ChatGPT, Claude, whichever one of them will rephrase the terms that the person was using in the video.
yeah,
So it frustrates the reason why I'm using it. But what I did was it shortens the process of having to watch through a 1 hour video to call out quotes. But I will look for the section where that particular phrase was used, and then I will listen to what the person says, and then I'll change it up. You understand? So
yeah,
that's what makes the difference between generic and properly developed pieces of content. Do you understand? So
yeah,
because the content repurposing process can be frustrating. I mean, I can imagine that the people that have first lost their jobs are transcribers. And that's why all my life I told myself I left engineering to play in this field. I'm not going to constrain myself to a world, to a
yeah,
section. Because I'm telling you, our core SEO guys are scared. Because what Google is doing is bye bye to you guys. We will no longer need
yeah,
you guys. We would
yeah,
literally do everything for everyone. And it's frustrating. So the idea is you need to become the versatile content person. You are not someone that is just you are not playing in the generic space. You are playing in a place where you are bringing a uniqueness to the space, and that is where experience comes in.
yeah,
So I have a quote that was delivered by some folks. They said, "You do not have the right to say you're an authority in a space until you have about 10 years in the space." That's weird because this is the fast-paced world. But the truth is, you can't speak like I'm speaking right now if you don't know your onions, flat
yeah.
out. So
That's
you
it.
are saying you can do a lot with AI, but what do you know? Do you understand? So that is where, when I touch your content, it becomes different. Like
Yeah,
it's the human touch that I've owned over the years that makes me spot errors, right? We had a
yeah.
campaign recently. Sorry, I'm taking your time. We had a campaign
No.
recently that the lady literally delivered every social media caption with ChatGPT, and she said ChatGPT knows her style. And I'm like, are you joking? The thing would say, "Oh, did you feel the fire? Drop an emoji. Did you feel this?" And I'm like, bro, these things are, like you said, robotic.
Yeah,
So even if ChatGPT gave you a raw piece of content, now you are the editor.
yeah,
So I tend to forget some of my major LinkedIn influencers' names. There was one of the days when ChatGPT was just coming on, and there was a course that a lady dropped. She said how to edit like a pro in an AI world. So one of the fun things that should happen for a content marketer is knowing how to edit, right? You should know
yeah,
how to bring in your own words. You should know how to tweak the words to make it
yeah,
feel like a human thing. The truth is,
yeah.
I'll be an hypocrite to say I don't use AI. I don't depend on it, but
Yeah.
the truth is, when I pick a piece of content, I know how to make it human and engaging as it should be. Yeah.
I think you've actually answered quite other questions that I have in you using,
Sorry.
because we're at the point where originality would be what will separate you from
Exactly.
other other content marketers or
Yes,
other people
sir.
who are using AI to, because there at the moment there's a lot of dependency
I
of
promise.
people on AI.
Yeah.
I could remember recently there was a writer who wrote he posted something online, and in his post you could see the hook.
Mm,
That hook, then this is hook, then you now
mm,
have the hook, so
mm.
he could not even delete the this is
The
hook, the word
Jeez.
of ChatGPT.
Jeez.
And it's so crazy that
I mean,
even people
just copy
just
well.
yeah, just
Even if
copy
you didn't
well.
edit, copy it well. There's a part
And I'll
where
give you an example. Another example is
there's even a part where if you copy ChatGPT to say ChatGPT said, if you post that,
yes,
something is not right.
something is wrong. See, that's even a stretch.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you an example of there was a blog post I came across,
Mm-hmm.
and in some like 3 or 4 of their articles that they published on that site,
Hmm.
they published it with the line. When ChatGPT is separating
Yeah.
the point, there is a
Sure.
line that comes with it, like
Yes,
a
sir.
separator. They
Mm-hmm.
published it with those separators, and I
Exactly.
was like, "Come on,
Come on.
this is no, you shouldn't be, you shouldn't be this lazy. The level of
Yeah.
dependency is already robbing of people's creative ability,
I
and it's
promise.
so crazy at this point in time.
Yeah.
So that takes me to, you've talked through about how you're leveraging these tools, to better for your efficiency, in terms of efficiency. So in your content stack, so
Mm.
how do you integrate these tools in your content workflow from ideation then to distribution?
Okay, so for ideation, I love to bounce ideas off people. Normally, I could literally sit you down and I'm trying some ideas off you. So your responses is giving me something to work with. And then from your responses, I'm getting new ideas. Do you understand?
Yeah,
So, but the truth is, if it's not done right, it could be very awkward, right? If people actually know that, oh, you're bouncing ideas off me and you didn't tell me, like, guy, what's up, right? So the truth is, ChatGPT helps me with that. That
yeah,
guy or that tool is an engaging tool. And I tell
yes,
you, regardless of whatever Google churned out as Gemini and all that stuff, it doesn't match. ChatGPT are the guys, and I really love those guys. Yeah.
yeah,
But the idea is, when I ideate from them, that's maybe during the process of content strategy, putting it together, and all of that. They are awesome. But when it
yeah,
comes to implementation, sometimes I just have to sit them in the background. I need to go through the process myself. If at any point I get stuck, I might not go to Google again. I just go to ChatGPT, get what I need, and then I'm back to my work. Do you understand? So the
yeah,
implementation process reduces the engagement of AI massively. They can be involved in the ideation process. Of course, I talked about my brain dump somewhere as well, but
yeah,
bringing them together makes it very much faster, shortens the time I need to return that. The truth is, I don't review with AI as well. I review by myself because content is
yeah,
my work. Every other
yeah,
person is doing content as a byline. They are playing with it. That's why that guy copied um, the line that ChatGPT
yeah,
dropped. That's why a funny guy would use what's the name CapCut to get captions, and it will leave the errors in the caption. Young man, you can read
yeah,
through this entire transcript and get something more solid for us. Sure, you understand. So my review processes, my eventual publishing process, AI doesn't get involved. But the two
yeah.
stages it get involved is a little bit in implementation, but quite a lot more in ideation. But I'm generally not dependent on AI
Oh,
at all. But other things that AI also does for me is generating non-existent pictures.
oh,
Now, in some cases, I have to design a deck for myself. I have to do something like a graphics design, and there's nothing African online. Come on. If I
yeah,
put a little bit of prompts out there, even ChatGPT itself does a great job. If I want to write Jameywrites on a huge hoodie, if I could show you a version somewhere, I could send it to your LinkedIn. I mean, on a huge hoodie, these tools will give me that. Do you understand? So
yeah,
that is basically other places where I can use AI. So you don't have pictures online enough of African settlements and all of that. You can
Yeah.
get that from AI. Definitely, those are limits of our human
Of a
creativity so
human
far.
creative.
Yeah,
So now at the moment, there's a lot of mass production of content,
yeah,
with AI,
mm,
which is already has already given birth to digital noise and
yeah,
eroding quality.
yeah.
Right. So how do we fight this digital noise and ensure quality in whatever output, whatever content that is being put out there?
Sorry, can you rephrase that? How do we fight?
How do we fight digital noise and how do we ensure quality in the content that is being put out there?
Yeah. So I would start with a comment I made on LinkedIn. It says this is like another infodemic era,
Yeah.
just like during the pandemic, right?
Yeah.
So during the pandemic, everybody was saying, okay, use onions, it will clear your throat, use cucumbers, it will clear your teeth. It was a lot of nonsense, right? So we are now back to the infodemic era when
Yeah.
everybody is having something to get from AI. Do you understand? So the truth is, what will
Yeah.
set you apart is what do I want to achieve with content. Now, I see humans getting fatigued by AI content maybe in the
Yeah.
next 10 to 15 years because those
Yeah.
things are too generic. The truth is, the human
Mm.
connection cannot be toyed with. You don't know, but the
Mm.
truth is, if you're always stuck on social media in your bedroom, you are losing out on the power of human connections. So we
Yeah.
cannot eventually eliminate this human connection thing. The truth is, the reason why the tech guys are pushing AI so hard is because they need to scale. It's a profit game.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
for you. So the
Mm.
moment you know that, you need to first ask yourself, what do I want my content to achieve? Another thing you need
Yeah.
to do, like I said, you need to get more analytical. As I'm growing, I'm becoming a more analytical person. I don't just jump on trends saying it's passion. Oga, passion can slam you down. Oh. So
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
idea is be analytical. If video is the thing now, the truth is there's less barrage of AI on video content than
Yeah.
written content now.
Yeah.
So it is
Yeah.
better to pin down video content already before they come for video content properly
Yeah.
than for you to focus on writing when you're just starting. I don't know if you understand
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. I
Be
get.
a
I get it totally.
yeah, be a great writer. Don't trade it for anything. As I am now, of course, if you slam me with about 3K for 1,000 words, yes, let's do it. I'll do it for you. But if you are just talking, okay, $30 for 1,000 words, Oga, stay on your lane. I don't care for that
Mm.
nonsense. Yeah. So the
Yeah.
idea is analyze it. Is it better for me to enter writing at this stage? Because one of our
Yeah.
ladies, very awesome lady, she inspired me into case studies today. Her name is Stella Inabu. I tell you that she's putting a suite of resources for secondary school students. And I was asking,
Okay.
I said, how are we future proving these guys' careers? Because I think beyond myself. Now, if I, as a content marketer, had to be adjusting myself as of the first quarter of this year to make the best of this journey. What about the guy that is just entering the market? And that means
Yeah.
there's a demand for that guy to either become analytical or to quickly get mentors that can point him in the best places as quickly as possible. Do you get
As
points?
possible.
So yeah, so because don't waste your time. There's a lot of generic content, but make sure you do it in the right place. Yeah,
Now that takes me to the next question, which is about how personally, how you stay grounded, how
yeah.
you stay creative and visionary in this space that is constantly uh,
Over.
evolving and emerging.
So usually what will play a role in that is what's your value system. Now, I'm a little bit of a conservative. I've lived in Nigeria for so long, so you can't expect me to be less of a conservative. But nonetheless, I have to adapt. I have to follow trends where necessary.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
as a marketer, you are literally the most prone to trends. Like
Yeah.
trends will always be sticking you in the face. The one I've been hearing recently is life cycle marketing manager, growth
Yes.
marketing.
CRM.
Yeah, there's
CRM.
everything.
Yeah.
See, the truth is, last, let's not deceive ourselves. the cause of marketing have not changed. The things
Yeah.
that really make marketing count have not changed. We are just creating iterations. And I'm sorry, maybe because me, I'm not part of the typical workforce. I'm quite quick to identify the flows. The reason why we are having all these terms is because they need to separate you from each other. Oh, so
Yeah.
we need this person to come and fill this specific role now. But
Yeah.
I think the best bet is for every marketer to be interested in as many aspects of marketing as
Yeah.
possible, right?
Yeah.
That is what fires you up to be more creative. But the moment they are able to force you into a routine, your creativity is likely to drop. If you are
Yeah.
also not lucky to be changing jobs as frequently as possible, then it's going to drop lower because you already know what you're going to do. Then you're going to burn out. Then you're going to be bored at your job. So be
Yeah.
creative, look out for stuff, play with things, play with ideas. I'm someone that, yeah, already I'm a bubbling pack of creativity normally.
Yeah.
So business ideas are always flowing. So I will ask myself, if I was supposed to run this business, how am I going to market it? You understand? Those are things that you can have conversations with yourself. I have a
Yeah.
journal as well. Write it down, pen things down. I tell you, if I'm going to be a founder today, my marketing mindset is going to play a lot of role in it because
Yes.
that creativity is not something I'm trading for anything. So other places that you can also keep your creative juice running is that aspect we've talked about. We talked about volunteering. You can hear people
Yeah.
saying they're having a conference, they're having a podcast, they're having this. This particular podcast is also a form of volunteering. It might not look like it.
Yeah.
It was just a conversation with ourselves, and you told me, "Oh, I have a podcast." I'm like, "Oh yeah, what's up? Let's do it, right?" So engage people, talk to them. Those are
Yeah.
ways you get exposure. Those are ways you're going to get people that will be interested in what you already do and
Yeah.
get you to the next level. Yeah.
I actually
How-
agree with you because sometimes when you talk about, when you talk about what you do,
Mhm.
it gives you another time to reflect and to look at. So you actually know much
Yeah.
than what you think you know,
Yeah.
right? And beyond just you thinking about knowing much, it's also whatever you're saying now today. I mean, with this conversation,
Yeah.
we're pushing out content. Your content is imparting other people, to
Yeah.
think differently, to approach their work differently, aside from the visibility it will give you to,
Hmm.
so through that you already, it's also a big impact in your work beyond the vanity metrics, or beyond whatever
Yeah.
metrics that you measure in the impact of the content on the dashboards, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes, sir.
I really appreciate you for joining me for this conversation, and it's been an engaging
Yeah.
conversation so far. But before I let you go, I'm actually interested in knowing what happened to Student Diary. What happened to
Oh,
it?
yeah. So I got broke because of Students Diary.
Oh,
I
okay.
literally got broke because of Students Diary. So the money we make in content marketing was enough for me to set myself up. But I'm
Okay.
kind of the guy that loves I forgot what they call it now. Is it philanthropy? Now, it's
Yeah.
not because I didn't enter Students Diary for a philanthropic mindset, but I think I didn't know enough about social entrepreneurship at the time. So
Okay.
the truth is, Students Diary would have been better off if it was set up as a social entrepreneurship platform.
Oh,
But it was set
yeah.
up as a business platform. And the truth is, students don't have so much of an earning power. But my
Yeah.
plan was simply build this community. And I tell you, we got to about roughly 12 to 15,000 in a year.
Oh,
And it was raving, it was moving. But I was pouring the money I was making from freelance, which, like we
to it.
agreed, goes up and down.
Yeah.
So that wasn't the time when I had a constant income. So, and I
Yeah.
had employees I was paying. I paid them, whereas I was supposed to set it up as volunteering. I don't know if you
Oh,
understand.
I get
I
that.
placed them on salaries. So there was a point I got to, I started borrowing from digital platforms. I got crazy broke, oh, like crazy
Wow.
broke. I literally just got out of it a few months ago, and I'm never going
Wow.
back by God's grace. Yeah.
Wow. And
So
that's been a long time.
I
Wow.
promise. So that was why I kind of shut it up. Of course, it's something I believe, just like this big man does now, Victor Asimota. He says,
Yeah.
if I can see people that can work in the fintech space, I have a lot of knowledge to share with you guys. There are a lot of stuff I can tell people that can take that also up. But right now, I think it's all about sorting myself. Maybe if there are some other times when there will be time for Students Diary. Students Diary was supposed to be a platform where the struggles I faced in school, people don't have
Yeah.
to face it. The truth is, before you get out of school, several people are already giving up on school itself. Yeah, and
Yeah.
these are smart guys. I promise you, they won. I've always known I'm smart like that, but not in the context of school. Yeah, but the idea
Yes.
is, when I say not in the context of school, I'm not saying I don't know how to read. I'm saying
I understand
this
you.
this
Actually, I
exam
do.
nonsense where they'll be using grade
I
to
do.
score you. But the truth is, you can't prove that you're smart if you don't pass. So some
Yeah.
of the guys that I had beside me, they were very good with ramming through past questions, cramming it in their heads, go to the exam or scale it through.
Yeah.
Soft, first class. But the idea is, I saw that those struggles were there. I was almost tapping out, but I was blessed by a beautiful senior sister that told me, Oga, you cannot tap out. We will support you as much as we
So,
can. And
yeah.
I went through it. So the idea was, if I went through this and I was dying in school for help, can we get resources together through something like a an engagement thing with people that have gone through these processes, right?
Yeah.
Like we are doing now, to teach people how to navigate their school journey. We had celebrities like Uchechika Elumelu on the platform talking about how she navigated a journey. I don't even know what course she did in school now, to acting, right? We had
Yeah.
awesome people on the platform. The idea was to go from community to providing value. But the truth
Yeah.
is, we needed a lot of what's the name? We needed a lot of time. We call it runway in the
Yeah.
entrepreneurial space. We needed a lot of runway to do that. And I didn't have 2 years
Yeah.
to get
To do that.
cash
Wow.
in. No. So I just told the guys, please, we have to tap
Wrap it
out
up.
at the moment. If there's
Because
grace for
actually,
it.
I looked
Yeah.
at it when I read about it, and I thought this is actually a fine project. It's something
Yeah.
that's so interesting to see, and I believe that it's something that maybe when you are in a better space, it's something that you
Yeah.
can still take up again and maybe
Yeah.
restructure things and put
Exactly.
it into a right perspective then,
Yes, sir.
because it's a good project. It's a
Yeah.
very good project, and I don't have the full scope of it,
Yes,
but
sir.
based on what I read about it on your
Mm-hmm.
profile, and I dig a bit deeper into, well, I said, wow, this is actually, I would love to
Yeah.
know about this
Yes, sir.
particular project. But that's
Yes, sir.
that's great. So bros, it's been a good time with you.
Yes,
It's
sir.
been a 1 hour so far. It's been an engaging
Yes,
conversation.
sir.
So
Yes, sir.
thank you for coming for this conversation. Thank you
Yes,
for
sir.
obliging our request, and I
Yes,
believe
sir.
that I cannot but wish you a success and every good
Yeah.
things in all your endeavors, and I'm looking forward to seeing you handling more bigger projects
Yes,
with
sir.
global
Amen.
brands,
Amen.
with
Amen.
global brands. And I know that, I mean,
Yeah.
you have the capacity, you have
Yes,
the
sir.
knowledge, you have the skills, you have sample work that you turn out there, and I
Yes,
believe
sir.
that, yeah, the sky is always the beginning. So I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to the greatness that is about to emerge more
Amen.
on a bigger platform. So
Yes,
thank
sir.
you so much for
Thank
for coming
you.
for this conversation. I really
Thank you
appreciate you
for the
for that.
opportunity. It was just a greeting that battered this. I think
Yeah,
we
yeah,
have
yeah.
to
It was, it
thank
was.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Thank you.
that's a wrap for this.
I'll be in your
That's a wrap.
DMs very shortly.
Yeah.
Thank
No,
you.
yeah. Thank you. That's a wrap for this conversation. So
Yes,
see you
sir.
at the next episode.